Ever wondered how to make perfect spring rolls at home? Today, we're going to demystify the process and show you how to create this tasty treat right in your own kitchen. Spring rolls, a beloved culinary staple, originated in Asia and have since gained worldwide popularity. These crispy, delightful bites are a symphony of flavors and textures, with a combination of fresh vegetables, meat, or tofu, all wrapped up in a thin, crispy pastry. Making spring rolls at home might seem daunting, but it's actually quite simple. The process involves gathering the right ingredients, prepping them accordingly, assembling the rolls, and finally frying them to golden perfection. Whether you're a novice cook or an experienced home chef, there's something truly satisfying about crafting your own spring rolls. By the end of this video, you'll be able to whip up your own batch of spring rolls without breaking a sweat. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more such delicious recipes. The first step to making perfect spring rolls is gathering all the necessary ingredients. The heart of these delightful treats is the filling, which is typically a mix of finely chopped vegetables and protein. You'll need a couple of carrots, some cabbage, a bell pepper, a few green onions, and a handful of bean sprouts. For protein, shrimp or chicken is a popular choice, but tofu is a great option for a vegetarian twist. The spring roll wrappers are what hold everything together. You can usually find these in the Asian food aisle of your local grocery store. If not, phyllo dough or rice paper can be used as a substitute. To season the filling, you'll need some soy sauce, sesame oil, and a pinch of white pepper. And of course, you'll need some cooking oil for frying. Once you've got your ingredients ready to go, it's time to start prepping. Now that we have our ingredients, it's time to do some chopping and dicing. Let's roll up our sleeves and get down to business, shall we? The first thing we need to do is wash all our fresh vegetables thoroughly. Run them under cool water and gently rub to remove any dirt or grit. After washing, pat them dry with a clean towel. It's a simple step, but it's crucial for making sure our spring rolls are as fresh and clean as they can be. Next up, we're going to chop our vegetables. Here's a little secret. The size of your dice matters. For spring rolls, we want everything to be small and uniform, so every bite is a perfect blend of flavors. We'll start with the cabbage. Slice it in half, remove the core, and then chop it into thin strips. Then we move on to our carrots. Peel them first, then cut them into matchstick-sized pieces. If you're finding it a little tricky, you can use a julienne peeler to make the job easier. Our next ingredient is the green onions. We're going to use both the green and white parts. Slice them thin and set them aside. Now let's tackle the protein. If you're using shrimp, peel and devein them, then chop them into small pieces. For chicken or pork, cut them into thin slices, then into small dices. And here's a pro tip. When you're chopping and dicing, make sure your knife is sharp. A dull knife can slip and cause accidents, while a sharp knife gives you more control and precision. Lastly, we're going to mince our garlic. Remember, garlic adds a punch of flavor, so we don't want large chunks. With all our ingredients prepped and ready, we're one step closer to those delicious spring rolls. Trust me, all this chopping and dicing is worth the effort. There's nothing quite like biting into a homemade spring roll, knowing you've made it from scratch. Now comes the fun part, assembling your spring rolls. Begin by laying out a spring roll wrapper on a clean, flat surface. It should be positioned so one of the corners is facing towards you, like a diamond. Now let's start layering in our ingredients. First up, a spoonful of our prepped filling. Place it near the corner that's facing you, but not too close to the edge. You want about 2 inches of space so you have room to roll. Remember, balance is key here. You want each bite to be a symphony of flavors, so don't go overboard with one ingredient. Next, we're going to fold that bottom corner up over the filling. Tuck it under just a bit to secure all those yummy ingredients. Then fold in the sides. It's kind of like you're wrapping a little present. A present full of deliciousness, that is. Now here's where the rolling comes in. Start from the bottom and roll your spring roll up towards the top corner. Keep it snug, but not too tight. You don't want to tear the wrapper. But what's going to keep this roll from unraveling, you ask? Well, that's where our little friend water comes in. Dab a bit of water on the top corner of the wrapper. This will act as a sealant. Finish rolling, press down gently to seal, and voila! You have yourself a spring roll. Keep in mind, when assembling your spring rolls, try not to overstuff them. If there's too much filling, the rolls can break during frying. And we definitely don't want that. One more tip before we move on. If you're not frying your spring rolls right away, cover them with a damp cloth to prevent the wrappers from drying out. With your spring rolls assembled, it's time for the final step. Last but not least, let's get those spring rolls nice and crispy. The secret to a flawlessly fried spring roll lies in the temperature of the oil. It should be just hot enough to make a small piece of dough sizzle, but not so hot that it smokes. Be sure to use a deep, heavy pot for safety and to ensure even cooking. Now gently lower each spring roll into the oil using a slotted spoon. Take care not to overcrowd the pot, as this can drop the temperature and result in soggy spring rolls. Each roll should be fried for about 3 to 4 minutes, or until golden brown and crispy. Keep an eye on them and turn them occasionally for even color. When they're done, carefully remove them with your slotted spoon and let them drain on a paper towel-lined plate. And there you have it, perfect homemade spring rolls. Now all that's left is to enjoy your culinary creation.